All right, my number 7 is the Star Ocean series. I want to say it's almost like not the most known series as far as RPGs go. I started with Second Story on the PS1 because the original game didn't come out in America until they remade it on PSP. But I don't know, it was one of the most complicated, so many things to do. You could log a couple hundred hours into the game and still not do everything there is to do RPGs ever played.
Didn't it have 80 endings?
Oh, no, not that. It had something in the vicinity of 30 or 40 endings.
Holy crap.
Off the top of my head.
I thought it was 30 or 40 per character, though.
Wow.
That could be. I don't remember off the top of my head.
I could be wrong. I just thought it just had a ridiculous amount.
Every decision you make can affect the end of the story.
You play for 20 minutes and then you get a 30-minute ending? What? And you just do it 30 times?
Oh, no, it's you play for 150, 200 hours and you get an ending.
Damn!
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Which was the one that came out on PlayStation 2? Because I know that I had a PlayStation...
Till the end of time.
Till the end of time? Because it was either get Star Ocean or Xenosaga, and I heard Star Ocean was it was a continuation. I was like, I'd rather not get a continuation.
Yeah.
I'd rather start a new series. I was like, go Xenosaga! I still cannot beat that shit. It was like, hey, guess what? Here's a giant robot, and it's gonna rape you, and dead. And I was like, oh, game lose. So.
Number 6.
All right. My number 6 is Sonic the Hedgehog.
All right.
The only system I had growing up until we got an N64 was a Genesis that my uncle left at our house, and the Sonic games, we had 1, 2, and Sonic and Knuckles for it. And they were just a lot of fun, and I got a Dreamcast, played the Adventure 1 and Adventure 2. Sonic probably would be higher because I love those games a lot, except the rest of them pretty much suck. So, that kind of hurts it a little bit.
The last 10 years haven't been good in the series.
This was the first time anything that wasn't on Nintendo grabbed me.
Oh, don't feel bad. Sonic isn't even in my top 10.
I've seen her iPod. It has City Escape and Splash Zone theme. That's it. That's all the 170
It's got
gigs.
a little bit, yeah.
That's it. Rolling around at the speed.
That's a fantastic song. That's the reason I kept playing Adventure 2. I loaded that, and that level comes on, and that song starts, and you're just like, oh my god, I love this game.
And you're snowboarding down a cement with sparks chased by a truck. And what do you do for the entire rest of the games? You don't run. You farm a Cho thing.
Yeah, that was the best decision Sega ever made. Putting that song for first level.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I remember seeing that night. My jaw literally dropped when my friend was playing. I was like, "What are you playing? This is ridiculous." And he's like, "Why don't you try it?" And I died instantly, and I was done.
It is a pretty good game, though. In my opinion, it's the last
good Sonic game.
I don't want to say good, but the last great
Sonic
game. Because there are some that are good, but it was the last great one. In my opinion.
That the 3D ones all were bad.
It depends on who you talk to.
They're glitchy, yeah, but it's still fun compared to what they've made since.
Okay. My number 6 is Katamari Damacy.
Nice.
I got that game when it was $20 at Best Buy.
Didn't everybody?
No. Here's the thing. And my friends were like, they were chilling around, and I was like, okay, I heard about this game, Katamari Damacy. Everyone thought I was on drugs because of that game. They were like, he's on some psychedelic tripping stuff or something like that. And I was like, no, I just love the game. It is fantastic. And it really... I didn't know about it, but it's a dialogue about the materialistic state of the world right now and how we need to get everything and we don't need it. And the dude who wrote it was like, or not wrote it, but made the game was like, we have too much crap in the world and we don't need it. Like, how many Tamagotchis do we need? Like, how many, and he's like,
Horde.
Yeah, that's why in the entire game, you'll see little things like, wow, the earth is really filled with crap. Like, what? Like, and this isn't big enough because we need to clean the earth. And I was like, that's kind of like deep mental subliminal type shit. And I was like, holy crap. So I love the games. I played every single one of them on all of the systems. And
that was kind of like my introduction to what the fuck Japan sort of.
I remember the only reason my friend Matt got it for his birthday from another friend, and the only reason the friend got it was because it was only $20, even though it was brand new.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I just saw this game for $20, so I grabbed it for you. Play it. Let's have fun.
They've always been cheap.
And we're all just sitting around the TV watching this game, and we're just like, what the hell is this? But we couldn't stop watching, and he couldn't stop playing, even though he was so like, this game doesn't make any sense.
Tell me the first time you saw the Royal Rainbow, you did not crap your pants of joy. You were like, oh my god, this is awesome!
I pretty much, everybody in the room uttered, this is the greatest game I've ever seen.
I know, and the best part is that every single game is cheap. Like, it's $20, and then Beautiful Katamari, when it came out, was $40. And now it's like $15.
Yeah.
For Xbox.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's amazing, because Xbox is always like, hey, guess what? $50. I don't care. And there was a Katamari Forever, the 1080p one, which is gorgeous, is still, I think, $50. It's cheaper than an actual game.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, and that has a lot of replay value. So,
Right.
But it's a fantastic game. I don't think he's going to release any more. I would be amazed if he did.
Well, he just went off and created his own company with his wife.
Then I expect a lot more.
Exactly. He's starting his own. I forgot the name of it, but it's a ridiculous name.
I think it's hilarious that he did it to make fun of people and how they're so materialistic, and yet he's made so much money off them just getting his things.
All right, my number 6 is the Monster Hunter series, another until recently fairly unknown series. In a decade where games have lost all challenge, and I mean, I was reading a review of something else the other day, and somebody was making the point like games have checkpoints every 10 seconds, and let you save wherever you want, and infinite lives, and just make it so they like baby you. This series was brutal, and it took skill to get anywhere decent in the game. And I started out on I forgot whatever the second one that came out to PSP was, and I could not stop playing that. It's probably my single most played PSP game. And then when Monster Hunter Tri came out to the Wii recently, everybody in America was like, "Oh, this series is kind of awesome," even though I think they made it a little easier than the PSP versions and the PS2 versions. But it's a really nice challenge. There's a lot to do in the game. Hunting, collecting.
There's not much volume on that when you look away.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You're like looking at the floor.
It's barely coming out there.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm kind of surprised that, they're like, oh, games are getting easier. I'm like, have they not played an Atlas game yet?
Well, Atlas is an exception.
Atlas is an exception, but Atlas is a system. It will make you cry. Like, it is the old school, there were save points? Like, no. But, yeah.
Awesome.
Alright. My number 5 is Pokemon. I wish a lot of my viewers were older so they could remember better what it was like when Pokemon first came out. But it was just crazy. Like, and I mean, I know it's still like a huge thing, but I don't think it's nearly...
Oh, God, no.
I don't think it's exploded like it did when it came out. And I mean, it's not even just the games. I got started with a card. My cousin gave me one random card. It was a Ponyta. I actually remember this. And I was hooked from that card. And the games are just a lot of fun. I remember begging my mom to get a Game Boy so I could get Pokemon Blue. She got me a Game Boy Color with Pokemon Yellow, so I forgave her. But, even though a lot of people are getting sick of the number of Pokemon, Chris.
I am.
And I mean, even me, I'm kind of a little overwhelmed, but I still find myself enjoying the games somewhat, so, and it's just, and the remakes that are coming out are fantastic. Black and White looks like it's actually kind of trying to change the series a little, and I still have my hopes for a full console, good Pokemon game.
That's what I've been waiting for a few years now.
What's funny is I remember now a story when when Pokemon first came out. I wasn't really sure if I wanted it. I didn't even think I wanted it until everyone had it, and I was like, I actually picked up the game and tried it, and I was like, it's catchy, But I remember someone was like, some kid in DC saw a rabid dog, and he tried to catch it by throwing a rock at it, which pissed it off, and he got a dog attack, and they were like...
Really?
They blamed Pokemon for it, and they were like,
wow.
Pokemon caused this kid to almost get mauled by a, dog. And I was like, or the kid is stupid.
Yeah, that's pretty stupid.
And and they were like, no, we gotta blame video games because that's what we do now. And that was the 1990s. They blamed everything on video games.
Yeah,
so.
I actually kind of want to make a separate podcast about that some other time.
But I mean, I've played Blue all the way through, and everything else I have not played. I really wish I would have, but I stopped at Blue. Blue is the ideal.
I stopped at Gold.
I have at least started a game from every generation and plan to finish them. So, all right, you can go ahead with your number 5.
My number 5 is King of Fighters. I know that sounds like, why is there a fighting game in this? But like, I didn't play fighting games at all. And then it was like, oh, there's a Neo Geo console in this arcade, and I was like, oh, let me try it out. Oh, it's a fighting game. All right, sweet. And like, I didn't get into Street Fighter. I mean, everyone know how to do Hadoukens or whatever, but I mean, that was an SNES thing, and people were just really good. And I was like, all right, let me pick up a game that no one knows, King of Fighters, and it was like 2000 or not 2000. It was like 1998 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like the best one or something like that. And then 2002 came out, and I had it on ROM, and what, I don't care. And so I tried it, and when that game comes out for Xbox, apparently, I'm going to buy it because that is amazing. Not because it's like, oh, it's a good balanced game. No, it's not balanced at all. But there's 66 characters, and if you and a buddy are just playing around goofing off, you're going to find some characters that are interesting.
It's going to take you a while to get bored with anything.
Yeah, and like, also another thing is like, once a person loses with that character, they're out for that match. It's not like, oh, well, I'll just change my character setup in this way and they'll run away. No, it's that person's out. You got to adapt to another person, and they might be completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it really does depend on the number and how good you are with these characters. I mean, you might have 2, scrub characters in the beginning, and then all of a sudden a beast, and you're just going to straight Daigo some people. But I don't know. I like it though. It's right up there with Street Fighter, but Street Fighter, I was not going to put Street Fighter on the top 10 list.
Yeah.
So, because I started playing Street Fighter in 2, but I didn't really get back into it until 4.
Yeah. Okay. 5th franchise. Battlefield. That has got my number 5 spot. I've been playing it for a long time, just not really consistently. I played 1942 pretty much when it came out, right as I started to get into PC gaming at my friend's house. Quite a bit. When Battlefield 2 came out, I didn't have access to a great gaming computer, so I didn't really get to play it at the time. But picking it up a couple of years later, I started playing it, and recently I've picked it up again and have been trying to get back into it fairly consistently. I'd like to play it a lot more than I do. And then Battlefield Bad Company 2 really got me back into it, though. If I could play that online, I would probably not be playing much else right now.
I can definitely say that, that series has always been renovating itself. Yeah, you gotta talk up and lean forward, I guess. I don't know.
We might have to record this whole thing over again. Okay.
Well, which one did we start on?
Well, scoot closer and aim yourself at the mic.
I got a better idea. Sorry, guys, if this makes a loud noise, but... Hold up. There, now we're omnidirectional.
No, that's a lot better.
We're switching back to it. It's okay.
All right.
Okay. We'll do a recap before number 1 of what they were. What was, okay, if you could pick between Battlefield Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 2, which one would be better?
I'd probably still go with Bad Company 2. I've been really wanting to play that, but I've taken Battlefield 2 as my second choice.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really love Bad Company online. I
That's
just
true.
have no means to play it online right now.
That's true. All right. Well then, good.